My name is Winnie Poster. I'm the director of LaborTech Research Network. I'm so happy to introduce our inaugural awards for Best Book and Best Graduate Student Paper, as well as the honorable mentions. We established these awards to celebrate the launch of our organization. We are a group of 400 scholars, activists, workers, lawyers, journalists, filmmakers, and so many more who are concerned about the impact of technology on labor and vice versa. We started 10 years ago as a small discussion group in Kavita Phillips' office in University of California, Irvine. And recently we transitioned to a formal nonprofit, 501c3. And we started these awards as a way to bring this group together and to publicize the kinds of work we're doing to the broader community. We wanted to honor work that's being done in the field that is not getting the credit that it deserves elsewhere, and also to actually craft a new field in itself to really cement the studies of labor and technology. The awardees this year were chosen to reflect elements of our mission, and our mission aims to focus on labor and the power relations and political economies that it's embedded in, to highlight transnationalism and decolonialism, to integrate embodied studies into these discussions, feminism, queer studies, disability studies, and to integrate anti-racism and social justice in the discussions about labor and technology. The winners this year discuss many aspects of these elements in their work that need attention, studies of disability workers, studies of collective action and the ethics of technology, studies of Latina workers, studies of creative and gaming labor. We want to thank all the winners for allowing us to read their incredible work and share it with others. We also want to thank everyone who did submit. They were all wonderful, and I think everyone reads those as well. We want to thank the committee chairs who spent so much time in putting these committees together for the first time for our organization. That's Karina Ryder, Shiv Iser, Opi Akanbi, and Julie Chen. And we also want to thank all the people who, members of our group who were on these committees, who read all the submissions very carefully and gave us their time and their insights. Next, we will introduce the authors themselves, the winners, and hear about the stories that motivated their projects. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ergin Bulut. I currently work as Associate Professor at the Department of Media and Visual Arts at Koç University in Istanbul. Here, I teach courses on media industries and cultural production, video game studies, and media sociology. My research interests cover political economy of media, creative work, and philosophy of technology. I'm really humbled by how a precarious game, The Illusion of Dream Jobs in the Video Game Industry, was the winner of the book award given by LaborTech Research Network. Thank you very much for engaging with my work. I'm really, really happy. So I was interested in doing this research since I was curious about what it means to pursue love at work in the case of the video game industry. So the broader questions that my book asks include how does love look like in this industry, who can play and who needs to work in this industry, and how does the division of pleasure look like in this industry. To answer these questions, I conducted ethnographic research for about 3 years in a medium-sized studio in the US Midwest, where the majority of the labor force was white male. Obviously, similar to other media and creative industries, love does lead to pleasurable cultures of overwork in this industry. But in this book, I also propose grasping creative work not simply as an economic activity, but through social reproduction rooted in politics. Through the notion of what I call ludopolitics, I suggest that we can understand not only how the video game workers, again, predominantly white and male, are exploited and alienated, but also how their good lives and love for work rests on the exploitation and alienation of many other subjects at different levels, which include their homes, the hardware and electronic waste zones in the global south, and the racial minorities and women that the video game workers were creating in their own games. So in a context where we are obsessed with the future of work, I believe my book is important for politicizing love and creativity by not only showing how they are both racialized and gender practices, but also critiquing the very nature of the employment relationship that is also constitutive of liberalism and even critical studies of creative labor. Again, thank you very much for this recognition, and I wish all of you have a productive and pleasant conference. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Melissa Villa-Nicholas. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Rhode Island. And first of all, I just want to thank LaborTech Research Network for the honorable mention of Latinas on the Line. I'm so excited that this award exists and that it'll continue to honor and recognize labor tech research. And I really consider LaborTech Research Network my peers and scholars that I admire as well. One of the reasons that I wrote Latinas on the Line was because it was just my family history. I'm second generation Mexican American, and my mom and my tias and my tios all worked in telecommunications. So that was a really normal part of my life, to know that Latinx folks were in technology fields was just part of growing up. And I wanted to write that history, to sort of etch it in the tech labor histories side of research. And I think the work is important, and all work that shows Latinx people's technology histories, innovations, where Latinx folks are working in technology sectors, because I think it just brings out how much labor goes into our everyday lives with technologies. And also, I just think it's compelling to read. I love reading technology histories of all different folks, and I want to continue to read more Latinx tech histories as well. So thank you again. I really appreciate honorable mention for Latinas on the Line, and I'm grateful for LaborTech Research Network. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Dee Wu. I'm a PhD candidate at the History, Anthropology, and STS program at MIT. I'm currently doing fieldwork in China, working with the data workers that I wrote about in my paper. Thank you, LaborTech Network, for such a great recognition of my work. I feel really honored to be receiving this award. This paper was inspired by the practice of the Disabled Persons Organization that I wrote about in the paper. This DPO is one of the leading organizations in China's disability rights movement, and I came across their data annotation program when I was working in disability nonprofits in China myself. And I was really curious whether or not this, as a DPO-led program, if this program is any different from other forms of data labor organized by government, corporations, or NGOs led by non-disabled professionals. And indeed, they have a lot of practices based on unique practices based on their disability-informed knowledge. So I think it's really important to document their practices, not only because a lot of their workarounds are really innovative and original in the context, especially in the context of China, but also because their case has clearly demonstrated that people with disabilities are not just victims or beneficiaries of tech work or tech employment opportunities, as it is often framed. They are active contributors of valuable labor and expertise to their tech industry clients. And I'm hoping to really highlight this, the other end of the equation. I also wanted to showcase the transformative potential of disability expertise in creating more just environment for tech labor in general. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is JS, and I'm currently a PhD student at MIT. I studied political economy as part of the International Development track under MIT's Urban Study Department, and my area of focus is on the tech sector in the US and China. I'm also a member of Collective Action in Tech, a project that aims to advance the tech labor movement. Our group creates resources for tech organizers, produces analysis on the shape of the movement, and provides organizing support for nascent union campaigns in the industry. As part of the project, we also archive labor activity in the tech sector. Our group maintains 2 archives, one of all instances of collective action in tech, and one of all tech unions that have emerged in the past decade. I was inspired to do this research on the role of tech work in AI governance because I was a tech worker myself, working adjacent to the AI governance team at my company. At this job, I saw how limited the AI governance team was in their ability to dictate how AI models got used, despite being the experts on AI harms. And in some cases, this led to worker activism. As a former tech worker and a current member of Collective Action in Tech, I've been organizing in the industry for many years now, and I've always held the belief that workers, if organized, can play a critical role in how AI gets deployed, whether it gets used for good or for bad. I hope this work and projects like it can empower workers as organizing spreads across the industry, and remind workers that when united, they can have a say over how their labor ends up getting used in the real world. Thanks.